What is going on, guys? So, Starfield's gameplay reveal may have come out over 6 months ago, but there's still a bunch of details left to uncover. Specifically, I'm talking about these outposts. They've come a long way from your standard player home, and even though they still function the same, they provide way more than just shelter in this game. You enter the outpost building mode by pulling out your scanner and then pressing X, which I'm assuming is going to be for the Xbox controls. You can place these outposts wherever you want, as each time in the trailer, when the scanner is out, we have the option to create an outpost. 30 is the amount of outposts we can start. It's unclear whether that's the game's limit, or if this character has already used a few, but for reference, in Fallout 4, we had 37 settlements with all the DLCs. In build mode, you see your outpost barrier. It's primarily circle-shaped, and all the space between is available to be constructed upon. Over in the top left, we got outpost beacon and then integrity. So, structural integrity is usually related to the durability of things. So this can be an integrity health bar for the outpost, and it will be impacted by factors like being well supplied or underpowered. Down here we have our location, Vectera Outpost 1 on Vectera, Nerion. Vectera is the moon, Nerion is its planet. Also here we have the classic build limit that was introduced in Fallout 4. Essentially, the bar fills up the more we build, putting a cap on our own building limit. A stats bar shows us the outpost production, the amount of crew, cargo, and the amount of power either used or generated. Entering building mode, they actually just implemented this same free camera angle in Fallout 76 a few months ago. Real quick for size reference, here is our character. Say hello. And we are in the structures tab, and we can count 12 tabs total. Going down this tab, we see all the different buildable structures, each having their own cost of resource or power. The first number represents the amount of resources stashed in our outpost, and the second is the cost. Traditionally, these resources will count against the construction of your outpost, and the crafting systems for weapons and ammo and such, but we can get to that in a little bit. The numbers under the structures image tells us how many styles of variations to choose from. Most of these structural rooms serve specific purposes. Outpost airlock provides the safest way to enter and exit. Hydroponics, food production. Military, probably weapon production or outpost defense. Science for medical and aid production. Watchtower. That's either going to provide defense or it's meant to aid us in ship landing, as shipbuilding on outposts will be a part of the game. Alright, back in build. For some of the builds, an error said the foundation is too tall. So, not every entryway could properly align to the other structure. And although we don't see it here on this page, there is certainly a way to rename your outposts. Collins Outpost is the new name of this one. We can see they are the same outpost location when we do a side-by-side comparison. Doing this can help keep a mental track of which one is which, either the name of a crew member here or the resource it's mining. And again, there's 30 of them, so it's going to be something I'll be doing to help keep a track of. The wind turbines are generating power here. They also appeared later in the gameplay trailer, showing off another moon or planet we could probably deploy our outpost on. A lot to absorb down here, but let's start with all this cargo. It appears to take up a lot of space, and I imagine it's all the resources we'll be collecting. There's speculation that there's no stash boxes in Starfield, so no piling the heaps of junk and loot in a bottomless pit workshop, but that's yet to be seen. At the bottom are solar panels. Over here is a separate building, an oil rig or some sort of drill, and what I think are units for storing energy. Over here we see the watchtower, and yeah, it becomes pretty apparent that this is meant to oversee the incoming and outgoing of spaceships. Beneath that we have a radar scanner. Bethesda gave it its own shot here, so I bet it's probably important. Exterior building is only half of the outpost construction, as the interiors have many functions as well. Here's a crew member working on something. It looks like sheets of paper to me, but I've heard in other videos people saying it's like textile machinery, so space apparel? Behind her we see our research lab computer. and we'll get to more on that in a second. Walking through, we have this little Wally looking figure pass by, and it's going to the same workbench that our crew member was just using, dropping off resources, it looks like. But I freaking love Wally, so I can't wait to meet this little guy. Anyway, as I mentioned before, resources are going to be used in outpost building and the crafting system. Bethesda games of the past each made unique crafting advancements, but Starfield looks completely new with this research lab element. Entering the lab terminal, we have categories of individual craftable materials: pharmacology, food and drink, outpost development, equipment, and weaponry. Underneath are available projects to be completed. Completing projects unlocks the ability to craft mods, food, etc. And starting with pharmacology, we have medical treatment 1, performance enhancement 2. Sounds similar to drugs in Fallout 4, right? Kind of like Psycho, the performance enhancement. Anyway, food, nada. Outpost development, resource extraction 1. So this is probably related to what we saw here. This is cool because this shows our own research can help create a badass outpost. Also, with advanced extraction methods, it's probably wise to set up shop in a resource-rich area. In equipment, a mod for a helmet is being worked on. Weaponry, 19 available, none in progress. Clicking weaponry, we see 10 of the projects listed. The other 9 we'd see if we had scrolled down, but most notable are these blocked projects. Backing up for a second, this shows a research tree for certain mods. Pretty simple. Barrel Mod 1 or Grit Mod 1 are going to be the prerequisites for completion before we can start researching that second tier. However, not Muzzle Mod 1, for example. That one will likely require a specific skill. We'll have the chance to acquire these as we level up through the game. Quick example of a crafting skill is gastronomy. You can craft special food and drinks and research additional recipes at a research lab. This is a starting skill in the chef background. Any player can acquire it, but the chef already has it for crafting. We see the gun we're working on right here, and with required materials, iron, nickel, and sealant. Sealant is not a raw material, so it won't be mined or extracted. Either we're gonna have to deconstruct it like in Fallout for acquisition, or maybe we have a station at our outpost and that'll be responsible for production. The weaponry station is responsible for the crafting of mods. The main character is here grabbing a high-capacity magazine from inside. You can match the shape out with how it looks on the pistol. Behind the workbench, we see a pool table and another table with chairs, giving off rec room vibes. Even the brew on top kind of sells it. Bethesda is known for getting quite immersive. Handcrafting decor and having an interactive crew at your outpost can definitely add to that. And look, for me, the whole endgame of Fallout 4 was making awesome settlements. And I see something similar here with Starfield. So that's why I'm super pumped with this outpost building. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys. See you in the next video.